What if the moon above us is not what it seems? For thousands of years, cultures across the world have whispered stories of a time before the moon appeared in our sky. Today, science probes its craters, its gravity, and its deep interior. But legends, astronauts, and even modern instruments still leave us with one haunting question: could the moon be more than just a natural satellite? The Greeks once spoke of the Arcadians, a people said to be Proserpines, older than the moon itself. Writers like Aristotle and Lucian passed on the idea of a time when no silver disk watched the night sky. Zulu traditions, preserved and retold by storyteller Credo Mutwa, describe two brothers who brought the moon into orbit, rolling it across the heavens to stabilize the Earth. To them, the moon was not born here, it was placed here. These myths may not be history, but they reveal something deeper. Humanity has always felt the moon's presence was strange, even imposed. When telescopes turned toward the moon in the 1600s and 1700s, strange lights were recorded: bright flashes, glowing spots, and brief glimmers on the lunar surface, what would later be called transient lunar phenomena, or TLP. In 1787, famed astronomer William Herschel believed he had seen volcanoes erupting on the moon. He described reddish glows near darkened craters. Today, we think he likely caught the impact of a meteor, molten ejecta lighting the darkness. From then on, amateur and professional astronomers alike continued to log reports of lights and flashes on the moon, especially near Aristarchus, one of the brightest craters. In 1958, Soviet astronomer Nikolai Kozyrev made a startling claim. Using spectroscopy, he observed gas emissions over the crater Alphonsus, evidence, he said, of activity on a supposedly dead world. In the 1960s, NASA compiled hundreds of TLP reports. Aristarchus stood out again and again as the moon's hotspot for strange glows and unexplained brightenings. When Apollo 11 circled the moon, Neil Armstrong himself reported an area near Aristarchus that appeared unusually bright, with a slight fluorescence. It was logged, and later dismissed, but the words remain in NASA's transcripts. Then came the moon's seismic secrets. Apollo missions left seismometers on the surface, and when spent rocket stages were crashed into the moon, the readings shocked scientists. The moon reverberated for nearly an hour, ringing like a bell. The likely explanation: the moon's dry, fractured crust transmits vibrations differently than Earth. Yet, to some, it sounded like the drumbeat of something hollow. And who could forget Apollo 10's eerie moment of space music, a whistling signal heard while orbiting the far side of the moon, later explained as radio interference between spacecraft modules, but for those astronauts in the dark, it was unforgettable. Decades later, spacecraft have given us a sharper view. NASA's Lunar Prospector detected radon gas releases from Aristarchus, proving the moon still exhales from deep within. The Grail mission mapped gravity anomalies, mascons, dense regions beneath Luna Maria, relics of ancient impacts, not alien machinery. The Tycho crater, one of the most striking features visible from Earth, spans 85 kilometers and plunges nearly 5 kilometers deep. Its rays stretch across the moon, marking it as a relatively young scar in cosmic terms, about 100 million years old. And when we measure the moon's mass and density, the numbers line up with a small iron core and a silicate mantle. There are no hidden voids, no vast hollow chambers, at least none science can detect. Still, the mystery doesn't end there. Astronomers and amateurs alike continue to report flashes, glows, and strange phenomena on the lunar surface. Impact flashes explain many, but not all, of them. The Apollo astronauts themselves have often been wrapped into UFO rumors. A misunderstood radio call during Apollo 11, asking about the SIVB rocket stage, was twisted into tales of spacecraft following them. In truth, the astronauts have denied ever seeing alien craft firsthand. And then there are the more unusual claims: remote viewers describing structures on the far side, abductees recounting lunar installations. These accounts can't be verified, but they have become part of the moon's modern mythology. So what does all this mean? From myths of a stolen moon, to flashes of unexplained light, to seismic shocks and radon whispers, our satellite has always invited speculation. Most of its mysteries yield to science, but others remain, flickering at the edge of explanation. Artificial or not, the moon is more than a companion. It stabilizes our planet, shapes our tides, and lights our nights. But it also reminds us, even the nearest worlds can hold secrets. Enjoy our content? Give us a like and subscribe to help out the channel.